Hello everyone and welcome back to English class. We just finished chapter 4 of The Thief of Always, and I gotta tell you, the story just got real interesting for me, and I'm excited to show you what I wrote down as I read this chapter. But first I want you to think about these pictures I got here. So this is Hagrid, okay, and in this picture he's telling Harry that Harry's a wizard. It's the beginning of the story. Harry doesn't really know much about the new world that he's entered or that he was born a part of, but he didn't really know about. And Hagrid is there to teach him about his world. Okay. And the next one, I got the entrance to Camp Half-Blood from Percy Jackson. And if you're familiar with this story, you know that Grover acts as kind of a guide for Percy and teaches him about Camp Half-Blood and helps him understand who he really is and really teaches him the rules of this world that Percy didn't know existed. So these pictures, where did I go? These pictures lead us to today's goal. Okay, and that goal is to notice that when the main character learns about the values, customs, and rules of their world, the reader is also supposed to learn as well. Okay, so as the main character learns about their new world, okay, so do we as readers. And this is a way that the author teaches us the rules of these worlds. So in our case, we can think about the Holiday House, right? And we saw, in chapter 4, Harvey learns a lot about the Holiday House. And as he learns, while we're reading, we're learning too. And these are important things, and it's a good idea to take some notes as we learn these things. Okay? And I'm sure you were thinking the same thing as I read today, but this chapter really puts so many questions in my head. So now I'm going to show you what I wrote as I read that today. These are some of the rules I've identified for Holiday House based on my reading from chapters 1 to 4. So I understand now that in the house we've got Wendell, Lulu, Mrs. Griffin, and Harvey. We've got 3 cats, the Blue Cat, Stew Cat, and Clue Cat. And then the builder, the man who built the house, who we don't know much about yet, is Mr. Hood. Okay, so I got that down. And what I've learned about this place so far is that it's only for special children. Okay, and the only 3 that are there are Lulu, Wendell, and Harvey. And I think this is kind of weird, right? Strange. Makes me wonder, why is it just them? Another strange thing I learned about this Holiday House in this chapter is that it seems like the trees go through a whole season overnight, or in one day, in one 24-hour period. So when Harvey wakes up and walks outside, he sees that there are buds on the trees. And buds are the small green little, they look like seeds on the branch that turn into the leaves. So he sees them in the morning, but when he got there yesterday, it was a full tree. So this got me thinking, like, maybe the tree goes through a whole season or a whole year in a day. Other things I learned about the place are that kids come and go, and Wendell says this. I learned that Lulu has been there for several months. Okay. It's interesting, in the chapter, Lulu says something about being there a long time, and then Wendell says she's been there a few months, and Wendell's been there less. So it made me think about what time means at the house. Okay. Also, when Wendell and Harvey climb up to the treehouse and work on completing that, when he looks out, he can't see his his town, right? What he sees does not resemble the town Millsap. So I get scared here. I wonder, where do they really go? Because it doesn't seem like they're just in a far part of town or a far corner of the town, right? And I just feel bad about this. And I wrote doom here. Okay. I also learned that there's a lake around the house or nearby the house, behind the house. We're not sure yet. But you can't eat the fish because they're poisonous. And I take that as a message like, stay away from the lake. And I'm wondering, like, maybe they have bodies in there. Something's bad. Something bad is going on back there. Okay? So I learned this about the rules of this holiday house. I also learned that Mrs. Griffin can't cry. Okay? She doesn't cry when the cat dies. She said sadness is not what she feels. So I'm wondering, maybe... Yeah, I'm wondering more about this character. Why doesn't she have feelings, right? Harvey cries, but she doesn't cry. Why? Okay, so maybe something's going on with the people. The longer they're there, their feelings go away. Okay, because earlier in the chapter, Wendell had said that Lulu's starting to act weird, kind of walking around, staring into space. Okay, so maybe Mrs. Griffin did something like that too. Also, something that Mrs. Griffin said at the end, it just scares me quite a bit, is there's sun on, she tells Harvey to go play, and she says, there's sun on the step, and it won't be there forever. So I think she's giving this as a warning, right? You enjoy your time now, because something bad is going to happen real soon. So go have fun and eat all these hot dogs. Okay, so what I did here, as I went through the chapter, okay, I'm thinking about what Harvey learns about Holiday House, and I'm taking them as direct messages to me from the author, saying these are the rules of the world that Harvey is in right now. Okay, and from these, I'm generating all these ideas and predictions about what could happen in the story. Okay, so this is going to lead me to or help me identify different clues and details in later chapters, because I'm turning on my sights, turning on my headlights so I can see these little things as they come up. Now, I want you guys to know that I haven't read this book before, so I'm following along just with you. I'm one chapter ahead of you, so I can make the lesson. But I've got all these ideas, and I'm curious to find out if you have the same kind of ideas as well. So the work you can do today is right here. Okay, so what you can do is you can do the work that I did right here. All right, so you can take a page of your notebook and write down the rules of the world, of your character's world that you've learned so far. Okay, that's one thing you can do. And you can think about the questions it brings about. Another thing you could do is work on the stuff from days 1, 2, or 3. So you can pay attention to the details at the start of the story. So what's the setting? What magic is happening there? Is there any magic? Is there lots of magic? Who are the characters? Okay, what's the psychological setting? So what's the mood of the place? Is it somewhere that you want to visit? Would you feel happy there? Or you could investigate power. So among your characters, which one of them has the power? Which one can do what they want? And which one has to listen to others? Okay, so these are all things you can do today. I look forward to talking to you in the conferences and getting further into our books.